Welcome to the WrestleTalk News. I'm Quinnell. Some people, not naming names here, couldn't be me, have been talking about the Bloodline saga as potentially one of the greatest stories WWE has ever told. And while there were some definite down periods where it didn't seem like anybody but Reigns was getting over, there have been some people who have looked significantly better after being involved with the Bloodline, namely Solo Sikoa, the Usos, and Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. And while Jay is lined up to face Roman at SummerSlam this weekend, Solo being involved in that story too, Zayn and KO are the undisputed tag champs and seem to be having quite the run. But how long will it last? Because we might not be seeing Kevin Owens wrestle at all for too much longer. It had been reported back in late 2021 that KO had signed a 3-year deal with WWE, meaning his contract expires in 2024. Let's add that to the list of wrestlers who are having their contracts expiring that year. It's so many. But it seems when late 2024 rolls around, we won't be talking about KO potentially leaving to go to AEW, but more about whether he's actually sticking around with WWE and, crucially, in what capacity. Because KO spoke to the Toronto Sun in an interview recently where he said, "I really don't know what's left for me to accomplish in WWE. I used to say I don't see myself not being in the ring for another 5 to 10 years. And if I said that right now, I don't know if that's true anymore. I know I want to be involved in the WWE and I know I have a place here, I just don't know where it is exactly. Maybe it's still in the ring, maybe it's not, I don't know." He went on to say that he doesn't know right now, but he's just going to enjoy the year and a half he's got left on his contract and see how he feels. I, for one, would very much miss KO in the ring if he did decide to hang up the boots, but Kevin Owens as a coach or a producer? That sounds like a massive boon for WWE. Meanwhile, over in AEW, there's been quite a lot of chatter about the AEW women's division as of late. What with criticism mounting over their booking, Lufisto speaking on someone backstage with too much power causing her to not do more with the company, and now there's this. After confirming that Britt Baker was not the person Lufisto was talking about via Fightful Select, on a Q&A podcast with Sean Ross Sapp, he mentioned that he constantly hears about trash talking in the AEW women's locker room. SRS also noted that Lufisto was supposed to do more with AEW, but because of a no-good situation that he believes emerged from a ton of miscommunication, those plans ended up not happening. There have been reports in the past of heat between Thunder Rosa and Britt Baker, among others, so yeah, it's not looking too great in AEW on the women's side of things right now. And the same could be said for WWE's women's division too, as on last night's Raw, we seemingly got confirmation that 2 women's matches are being pulled from SummerSlam. Becky Lynch versus Trish Stratus instead took place on the show last night, and then a rematch was scheduled for 2 weeks' time for their Winnipeg show on Raw. Luke will have more details on that shortly in his Raw review. And Rhea Ripley versus Raquel Rodriguez, which had reportedly been penciled in for the show, was seemingly scrapped when Raquel was injured by Rhea on the show too. There's a chance that match could still happen, but it seems highly unlikely, all things considered. There have been reports that SummerSlam was full with their 9 matches, so now it looks like there's some more space for other things to take those spots. I wonder what they'll be. Probably John Cena appearing again to give Detroit a WrestleMania. Now, over to Luke.
And now it's time for my review of Monday Night Raw, aka hot damn, those Shayna Ronda promos were great edition of Monday Night Raw. In about 5 minutes, the show opened with Logan Paul cutting a promo on Ricochet to really great heat from this crowd. He kept putting over that he was going to make this match go viral, which is very fitting for his character, but is slightly undermined when the commentators also say it's going to be a very viral match, because then it just sounds like the company thinks it's going to be a viral match. And Ricochet came out to, surprisingly, shake Logan Paul's hand because he knows that they're going to put on a viral-worthy match. Paul then went against this by saying Ricochet's fiancée, ring announcer Samantha Irvin, would do the unthinkable when Logan Paul wins. She will do her job and announce him as the winner. Gasp! This was clearly too much for Mr. Shea, who brawled with Paul and got knocked out by the one lucky punch. The lame Samantha line aside, this was a decent opening segment. Not Kathy interviewed Imperium, which set up a match between Ludwig Kaiser and Matt Riddle, where, seemingly, Kaiser's position in Imperium would be on the line if he lost. Thankfully, because there's group rules, he in fact did not lose, beating Matt Riddle in a hard-hitting affair that the crowd lapped up. They announced that Cody Rhodes has joined TikTok, so you should all go and follow him. And while we're on that subject, I've just joined Instagram. It's thisisluke.owen. So please go there and follow me and feed my needy ego and give me a sense of self-worth in the form of a decent follower number. I would, honestly, I'd really appreciate it. The best thing in WWE right now, you heard me, Bloodline, got its next chapter when Maxine Dupree took on Valhalla in Maxine's first singles match and Sarah Logan's first WWE singles match in around 3 years. This was a relatively sloppy affair, but that's also part of the charm, as the story is Maxine is learning how to wrestle. Remarkably though, most of the sloppiness came from the far more talented and trained wrestler, Valhalla. Maxine hit some arm drags, Otis's Caterpillar, and Manami Toyota's Japanese Ocean Cyclone suplex into a very nice bridge for the win. Look, I'm gutted that these 6 aren't getting something bigger on the SummerSlam card outside of Chad being in the Battle Royal, but this angle does continue to be tremendous fun. Judgment Day cut a promo that covered a lot of the usual ground that they go over, and this brought out Raquel Rodriguez to brawl with Rhea Ripley that was all kinds of great until it came to Raquel selling. Bless her, she's not a good actor. But this segment did have a P.T. Williams spotting in it, so it gets 5 out of 5. Raquel's acting was way worse in a backstage segment with Adam Pearce, who said that she can get a shot at Rhea Ripley when she is medically cleared. We got 2 video packages for the Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler feud, which, man, these were so great! They covered their history in the MMA world, including their mentor-mentee relationship on Ultimate Fighter, and quite brilliantly and perfectly painted both of them as the babyface and heel of this story. Ronda was certainly sympathetic in putting over Shayna, and Baszler was certainly a heel because she said she was going to murder Ronda's daughter's mother, which is Ronda. But Ronda was also painted as the baddie, as they highlighted how the WWE crowd do not like her, and Shayna was the babyface by pointing out this very correct statement of fact. These were remarkable and easily the best promo work Ronda has done in her entire WWE run. And for a feud that wasn't that heated going in, it's become, in my estimation, one of the bigger matches on the SummerSlam card. They'll be fighting under MMA rules at SummerSlam, which sounds overly gimmicky, but I'm still pretty stoked about it. Shinsuke Nakamura and Tommaso Ciampa continue to toil away in the mid-card vortex of getting no reactions and short matches with little heat. Nakamura won with a handful of tights, and Bronson Reed watched on from backstage. This was not as good as it should have been. Brock Lesnar cut a promo on Cody Rhodes, which brought out the newest star of TikTok. Have you followed me on Instagram yet? And he shook Brock's hands. For what reason, I don't know, nor do I particularly care at this point, but it was weird to do effectively the same angle as the opening one of the show, where the rivals shake hands and only to brawl instead, because you'll never guess what Cody and Brock did next. They only went and bloody brawled, didn't they? Who could have possibly seen that coming? There was also no P.T. Williams sighting in this segment, so 0 out of 5. But next was, for my money, the best in-ring thing on the show, as Chad Gable took on Gunther in a 5-minute challenge. Credit to the commentary as well as the wrestlers on this one, as they did a great job in getting over the desperation of Gunther as he realized he'd underestimated Gable and time was ticking away from what he thought was going to be an easy win. He locked in the sleeper with around 40 seconds to go, but Gable wasn't tapping, so he beat him up and went for the powerbomb, but Gable reversed and sent him to the outside. The time expired and Gable was set to be announced as the winner until Gunther stopped that announcement and asked for more time, which means we got more great wrestling and a superb pissed off Gunther finish where he chopped the soul out of Chad Gable's body, then chopped that soul back in so he could chop it out again and powerbomb him into the earth for the win. This was all superb and I think sets up Gable for an IC program after Drew's match at SummerSlam. Becky Lynch and Trish Stratus are not wrestling at SummerSlam, but we're actually going to do that match here tonight on Raw, last night on Raw, but Zoe Stark jumped in to cause the DQ. Trish and Zoe left Bex laying and then told Adam Pearce that, hey, the rematch has happened, now it's taken place. Pearce instead told her that the rematch will happen in a couple of weeks' time when WWE is in Canada. And the main event saw Sami Zayn and Seth Rollins beat Judgment Day in a fun tag match. The finish saw Priest hit the razor's edge on Owens, then realized he could go for the cash-in. Balor handed him the briefcase, but with a slight moment of hesitation, and it was enough of a hesitation for Rollins to recover and hit the stomp for the win. A very creative finish that further teases the issues within the Judgment Day. Look, go-home shows have not been the strongest weapon in the Triple H booking arsenal, but this one was actually pretty good. It hyped up the key matches for SummerSlam and in some cases added more heat that wasn't there before, so big thumbs up from me. I gave it 4 out of 5. That's all from this edition of the WrestleTalk News. Why not go and check out myself and the other WrestleTalk lads on Board Game Club over on Parts Fun known from last week. Here's a clip while I check my Instagram follower update. Oh, what are we up to? The 6 of chilies.
Wrong! Chili! Spice is the word I meant.
Yeah.
I did have a wasabi face!
Yeah, you did.